I suck at closes, you guys. I'm so sorry.
No, you did fine.
No, that was good.
It was
Sure.
awesome.
I mean, I got it in the end, but I kind of went.
Oh, she said something I really liked.
Yeah.
What was it?
Continue the conversation in person,
in
online.
person. Yeah, in person. Continue. That was great.
Thanks.
That was.
There are times where there are sparks of genius. Just they're few and far between. Is the unfortunate part.
I really.
And it's usually after I say something really stupid. I've noticed. No, but sincerely, there are times where I'm just talking and things are coming out of my mouth and I say something really dumb, and then next thing you know, I say something really brilliant. Yeah, no, and it's a surprise to me as well, if that makes anyone feel any better about that at all.
I really like it. If someone could jot that down for me, we should add that in as a note to the. Sorry.
Thank you, Tarantula says I'm getting better. I am working on it. I will say that it is a constant.
There we go.
Constant effort, in no small part. I am in fact working on it. But that means that between here and there's a lot of weirdness that's going to come out of my mouth.
Well, today's weirdness is tomorrow's reason why. So.
There you go.
There you go.
You know,
I appreciate that.
There was something else that I liked. How Jared closed up the interview segment. I don't know exactly how you worded it, but it was something along the lines of like, "Stay tuned. There's still more tomorrow." Or something like that.
I think I said, "Stay tuned. There's still more tomorrow in just a little bit."
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
which is the best part because
like
you were like, "There's still much more tomorrow in just a little bit," and I was like, "Oh, so
yes,
close."
The redundancy group.
That sounds like totally a carrion thing to say.
Operation Redundancy is in full redundancy.
There's still more tomorrow.
That was a good show. I liked it.
We were on it today, weren't we?
Yeah, I thought it worked really well, other than the technical glitch with Mike. But I thought that was a pretty good save from Dutta putting the thing on the screen.
That was really good. It was weird. I was like, I really am only hearing me and Jared right now, and I thought any second that's just gonna click in. And like I said, I mean,
I didn't realize I didn't have any audio from him until you got into like the third comment, and he like looked at you guys and his mouth was moving and speaking, and I'm like, oh, there's nothing
I didn't
there.
realize it either because
yeah, well,
I didn't realize it either because I didn't mute myself on Skype, and I'm sitting here looking at my wireless mic. I'm like, I'm getting signals. Everything's working just fine. What the heck's going on?
Yeah.
Oh, it's because this got unplugged somehow.
That's funny. It was more funny than anything because I was like, I'm just not getting anything, and maybe he is just sitting there and smiling and nodding and agreeing. That's kind of what he does a lot of the times when Carrie-Ann just continues to talk, and there's really no way for anybody to say anything else when I'm just saying things. Yeah, see, it all just happened. Legitimately, that's, okay, screw you, buddy. You almost never agree with me, so that's obviously a lie, whatever's happening there.
Yep, no, I agree.
Okay, so are we going to do the extra news things with you on it?
No, I'm going to get out. I did before we get into news. So for those who don't know, we're trying out new Rundown software. It's called Rundown Creator from rundowncreator.com. Overall, it's generally been really great. Few gripes with it, but as with any system, blah blah blah. One of the things we wanted to be able to do was automate a lot of the show so that we didn't have to. It's a somewhat tedious process to build the rundown for Dutta to put all the clips in order, make sure they're named correctly, blah blah blah, and it sucks. And he has to spend a bit of time before the show to make all that happen. And PSN, who is an Escape Velocity patron, came to the rescue and built two applications for us. One of them looks at Rundown Creator and it pulls out all of the video tags from Rundown Creator and automatically builds our Casper CG rundown, basically tip to tail, like everything we need, automation and everything. And the second application actually looks at the Casper CG, and Casper CG is the system that we use to play back video clips and essentially build all of those social media, like when you see, Dutta, we're talking about, exactly that, right? So that's all done through Casper CG, all the graphic generation. CG stands for character generator. So the second application looks at all of the different media files, all the images, all the videos, all the templates, and everything else, and uploads it back into Rundown Creator so that when these guys are building their news items and stories and whatnot, they just drop their media on Google Drive, and all of this automation kicks into play and says, oh, hey, we noticed that you dropped that clip there. Here's what it's called, and here's the exact thing you need to enter into the rundown so that it will automate and work on Dutta's desk. So when when Dutta comes in now, instead of having to spend a bunch of time building everything and make sure the automation's working, he hits like 3 buttons and the whole rundown goes and builds itself. You ran entirely out of that new rundown system today, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so outside of probably some little tweaks that we're going to need to do, which have nothing to do with PSN and everything to do with our own workflow on our side and how those presets work, I think it worked brilliantly. And this was the first time, like, we've only been using the system for 2 weeks. Last week, it was just kind of us getting used to the new system. This week was adding full automation, and we basically fully automated the show with PSN's help. So I wanted to say on the air in After Dark, thank you so much, PSN, for making that happen. It is truly incredible and a game changer for not just this show, but when we do science, when we bring back Cities. And for those wondering, Cities is on permanent hiatus right now. We'll figure out a way to bring it back, just not right now. Cities, Tech, all those other shows. This is going to make life so much easier for us and so much better. I think and because we no longer have to worry about these things, we can focus our time on building other elements and making the show itself better, right? So we're not worried about things like naming conventions and things like that. We just worry about how we tell you stories and like how we convey the data as opposed to the technical side, if that makes any sense. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to say thank you and let everyone know that we've moved to new rundown software. So give us a little bit of leeway in the coming weeks as we figure it out and try to make all that go.
I love it.
So Gutta is going to...
That's funny, Smokey.
What's he say? Do the whoa thing from Fire...
Wash.
Oh, wash.
Can you not read from that far away?
Not from this far.
Really? Because you're the one with perfect eyes.
I am. Yep, pretty much.
Click, click, click.
Yep,
click,
there you go.
click.
So there you go. So anyhow, once again, thank you, PSN, and let me get out of frame, and you guys can do news.
Get out of here. Do we need to redo the camera?
Yeah, I'll do it.
And then...
I'm sorry, the camera?
Camera.
The camera. We got to get to the lunar colony.
Get to the landa.
No.
You got to get to Mars as fast as you can. You got to get there.
What was it that Ben was
Before
saying?
you get out of there.
Ben was saying something to me earlier.
You have to
about,
give
like,
a huge amount of tax monies.
You're getting better.
What?
Ben says that he's trying to convince me that I like puns and I like dad jokes, which I don't.
He does. She does.
I don't. And
Dad jokes are amazing. I don't know who you're kidding.
they're not, though.
I love dad jokes.
Here's the thing, though. Yeah, they are.
No, they're not.
Actually, it's scientifically fact-proven facts.
It's not. They're terrible. And yeah, so he just keeps trying to. He keeps trying to convince me of such things, even though it's not true and they don't exist, and they're terrible.
They do exist. Dad jokes don't just not exist because you decided that they don't exist.
Oh, they shouldn't exist.
All right, I think you have camera 3 up now, right? All right, I think you're ready.
Ben's a professional.
It's super.
Yeah, this is what I do.
It's super bright though.
Kind of like me.
No, nothing like you at all.
It's kind of like when I go to the beach and take my shirt off.
It is significantly
It gets
brighter
very
than
bright
the other
outside.
shot.
Yeah, it is. Go to 3 up here, and then take this little lever and drag that
Yes,
down.
Pete, we do in fact.
coming.
We do have mail to open.
Right in there. That's about right. Jared, look up. Look at 3.
I take it that's 3.
Yep.
Where?
Pretty much.
That's about right. I like
Yeah,
that. His
whatever
skin
happened
tone's
to our
juicy.
tally light on the camera inside the newsroom?
Is that not working?
No, it hasn't worked for I don't even know how long.
Hey, go to 4. It works.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Well,
it
you're
works.
too fat. I can't see. Move.
Move, fat ass.
What do you mean it works?
It's obscured by the lens. The lens is bigger than the camera body, so
I literally
so you
cannot
can't see
see
it.
a
I
tally
see
light
a
on
red
it.
light, but the lens is compensating for
Yeah,
something.
but now, all right, now it went white.
Nope.
Okay, well, it works.
Cool. If you can make it so the short person can see it, that would really help.
I just need you to grow a little.
Hi, internet.
You
Hi,
gave me a
Internet.
freaking stool to stand on.
He didn't give that to you.
You're right. Thank you, Dada. Still not enough.
Hey, I make things happen.
Do you?
Yeah. All right. What are we?
Hang on there.
Do we know how we're getting in and out of this thing? By the way, no, we're still winging this part. Fan-freaking-tastic.
Uh-oh, are you talking to tankers? That may not end well.
So yeah, especially if tankers like makes Mike mute again. Okay, so Mike, you're up first, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You just want to like lead it into something simple, just like. So for those of you who missed out.
Yeah, I'm definitely not making it nearly as complicated as Ben made it last time, of course. Yeah, how well do you know me, man?
I trust your abilities.
Thank you, I appreciate that. We might have to do this once or twice, though. Just FYI.
We'll see.
All right, Jared, you stop typing. You're so freaking loud. I love you, though. Okay, ready? And we're not going to black or anything. Yeah, exactly one of those. Okay. All right, so on this last week of episode.
It's all right. It's all right. I messed that up. I was looking down too. So.
It's okay.
Where?
You don't know when I'm going to talk, so it's all right. Moment of silence. All right, so on this last Orbit 10.33 or episode 10.33, what do we want to say there? Episode? You can leave all of this in. It's totally fine by me.
On this last live show.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So on this last episode, on this last live show, this is after dark, right? And I can still swear because I really feel like I want to now.
These are hard, aren't they?
Ooh, yeah, I know. No. It's I can just close my eyes, and when I open them, I'm on camera. Welcome back. So on this last live show,
No, welcome back. We're...
Okay. I hate you so much.
Yeah.
All right, everyone's looking at camera. Everyone's happy. Everyone's happy to be here. It's really the deal.
Right. Oh, I'm not. Get out of here.
I know. Any second. So on this last live show, there's a little bit of news that we didn't quite get to in the news segment, so we wanted to feature that now. Mike, you had some interesting information about the Lunar COTS program. What's going on over there?
Yeah, lunar COTS might actually be a real thing. So what this is that NASA has pretty much announced that they are preparing a solicitation to have another competition like the COTS program to deliver cargo to the International Space Station. And for this one, they're serious about sending cargo to the lunar surface. Awesome. And with this is all based on a request for information that NASA put out back in May. And they've since evaluated the results of that, and there's several companies that they are expecting to bid on commercial cargo services to the lunar surface. So this is really exciting, and there's just a couple of companies that are expected to bid on this, and this all comes from actually a testimony meeting before Congress where representatives from NASA, as well as Moon Express, Astrobotic, and Blue Origin talked about the benefits of this type of plan. So first off, one of the companies, Moon Express, they're already participating in a lunar program that is called Lunar Catalyst. And with that has been developing, it's a really small program, but it's developing technologies to enable soft touchdown and landings on the surface of the moon. And with Moon Express, the vehicle that you see on the screen there is called MX-1E. It's their new design for their lander. And they claim that they could start launching next year. I believe their launch provider is still going to be Rocket Lab from New Zealand. And they better start launching next year if they hope to win the Google Lunar X Prize by March of 2018. But this is just another program that's an example of life after the Google Lunar X program. And speaking of the GLXP, one of the other teams that dropped out of the GLXP race, Astrobotic, is also expected to bid. And with their program, they're looking at a lot of the results from this, and they're really interested in what they could do with their commercial services. They've already been reaching out to several companies who kind of at this point want to send some frivolous stuff to the moon, but there's also some experiments that they want to send as well. Now, the thing that I'm really excited about is Blue Origin, who also testified at this meeting on Thursday, and they have some bigger plans than Moon Express or Astrobotic, at least initially. Under their proposal, they're calling Blue Moon, they would have a system that would be capable of delivering several tons of cargo to the lunar surface. And that vehicle would, they're hoping to launch that on NASA's Space Launch System, I'm sure, kind of as a political move to get support for this. Or even Blue Origin's own New Glenn rocket once that monstrosity starts flying. So I'm unclear in this image whether or not that was the one that is their Blue Moon that would be able to deliver several tons. It looks more along the size of like the smaller kind of classes to have small instruments and payloads go to the surface of the moon, but I'm unsure about that since there's few details about their exact architecture for their Blue Moon program at the moment. But in any case, this is looking more and more like a real thing, and it tells us a little bit more about the direction that NASA wants to go in for our human exploration plans.
All right, well, thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. If you're interested in these news stories or more, join us every Saturday live, 2100 UTC on tomorrow.com or tomorrow.tv. What do you? I don't know how to get out of these either because that's also not scripted. We should put those in.
It's also 1800
UTC.
Oh, it used to be 2100 too.
Right.
Neat.
Take it back from the cut back to the studio.
Yeah. So
Yeah, obviously, Mike's not going to talk anymore. It's just me.
You don't have to cut it. So it'll be from Carrie Ann, and you can say blah blah blah. Really, what we want to do is say we want to talk about this last week's show because there's going to be a box up there that they can click on that brings them back to this live show that we've just recorded.
Okay.
So something along the lines of, awesome, thank you so much, Space Mike. And for more news from this last week, make sure to click over, click over here to watch episode 10.33. We also had an interview with Stuart talking about the history of SpaceX. And don't forget, we have live shows every Saturday at 1800 Coordinated Universal Time.
Oh my God, yeah, we need to script those in. Like, I'm just not going to remember any of that.
Do you want to write that down really quick? Put it in the script?
Can I do that?
Yeah, just pop back to your regular rundown creator view.
Yeah, okay, cool. That's just, no, I can figure it out. It's just, I don't have the regular rundown creator view because it's annoying and I don't need it for the show, so I don't have it on. Not to sound like a curmudgeon, sorry.
Ma.
It's like not what I mean, but at the same time, like.
Ow.
That sounded like that hurt.
It was good.
Should I do my neck?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Here we go. First of all, my hands. Okay, there we
Ready? Go. Oh, yeah.
Gross.
I don't think.
go. Do one more.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that felt good.
Half the internet was cringing right there.
What do you want me to say?
All right. So you can get out of, saying thank you to however.
Yeah.
Right. And then say, for more news from this last week's show, visit episode 10.33. Well, we also have more, something along the lines of episode 10.33. Well, you have to put it in your words, otherwise it's not going to work.
That's fine.
And then we had on Stuart Money. It was Stuart Money this last time, right? Talking about the history of SpaceX.
Mr. Money.
Yep. And this last part of it needs to be fairly quick and concise. It cannot exceed. So you can say thank you to Mike, but it needs to be no more than 20 seconds.
Understood.
That's it. Just blah blah blah.
And then the last,
every live show's
So
Saturday.
you just want thanks, Mike. Last week's show 10:33. Stuart Money, SpaceX, and
live shows every Saturday at 1800 UTC.
I don't think that's what you want.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I don't think that's what you want. Just run it through me like how you would actually say it, and then I'll just
something along the lines of like, thanks, Mike. For more information on additional space news, make sure to check out our previous episode over at 10.33 by clicking right over here. We also had Stuart Money on talking about the history of SpaceX. Don't forget, we have live shows every Saturday at 1800 Coordinated Universal Time. And it drives me bonkers when the hosts of SpaceX say Universal Coordinated Time.
Coordinated Universal Time.
It is Coordinated Universal Time. I know it is UTC.
Not Universal Time Coordinated?
So do you want me to say UTC or Coordinated Universal Time?
I say coordinated. You can do either. It doesn't matter.
Okay. All right.
What's a UTC?
What's an UTC? It's French. I don't know how to pronounce it.
What time is it in spacecraft event time?
Well,
It depends on the spacecraft.
I mean, so do you want? Dada, are you referencing that that's a TLA and you want me to explode that, or?
Yes.
So I get that.
Suggested, not required.
Yeah, I get
No,
that it's a TLA, but common TLAs like NASA and whatnot are allowed, and UTC is like on the cusp, and so
Yeah,
I'm 50-50.
We're trying to reach.
I know, but
Too wicked. Thanks.
I know, but I think my thing with UTC and why I'm on the cusp is because you're going to have to figure out what time that is locally anyhow. So if you search for 1800 UTC, it's going to explain it for you. Most people, I don't think, are going to, in their head, know their UTC offset and like what time that means for them without doing a little bit of Googling. I'm 50-50. I can be sold either direction.
I just think be inclusive if you're trying to reach a new audience.
I guess, but I think it's easier to search for UTC. It's easier to figure out what we're talking about if you type in UTC into Google than it does to type in Coordinated Universal Time.
Pretty sure Google's smart enough to figure both out.
No, I know, but
You may not even remember Coordinating Universal Time, and if you type in CUT, it's not going to come up the same way.
Right. So this is why I think
That's that
UTC
debate.
is one of those that's kind of a I can sell that in either direction, so I'm 50-50. I can make a valid argument on
Does the
either
chat
side.
room care?
I feel like we've been saying UTC on the show for 10 years now, so why change now? But again, just like Ben said, I mean.
I
would
actually
do it
say
however
Coordinated
you feel
Universal
like.
Time every time.
always say that.
Mike, while I don't disagree with you, here's the thing. If this is a short snippet that is intended to grab an audience, the people that have watched us for 10 years say UTC, it doesn't matter to them. They know what that is. For somebody that doesn't,
They still don't know what Coordinated Universal Time is,
but
right? I mean, if you don't know what UTC is, do you know what Coordinated Universal Time is? So you're Googling either way. Like a lot of the TLAs, you say and they make sense, right? You go, instead of TLA, you say 3-letter acronym. You can immediately go, oh, I know what that means. UTC, you say Coordinated Universal Time. The messed up thing there is because it's French, it doesn't actually, none of that actually works when you convert it to English. So it's not as simple as, oh, hey, I say Coordinated Universal Time, I suddenly know what you're talking about. If we said Greenwich, based on that, we should say Greenwich Mean Time or Zulu. Actually, Zulu is still technically allowed. GMT is not. Zulu converted over to UTC.
I would argue against adding different units,
Zulu and Coordinated Universal Time are the same unit.
generally.
Oh, wow. This is a debate. Okay. So, how much time? Only the live shows, blah, 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 has to be 20 seconds or under, yeah?
From the moment I put up the slate that has all the things that you can click on, that has to be 20 seconds or less. So you can say, thanks, Mike, that was awesome, blah, 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 blah. For more information, from that moment when you start talking about the previous show and the next week's show, that moment forward needs to be 20 seconds or less.
Okay, so everything between last week's show was 10:33, clicking right over here,
Yep.
Stuart Money, History of SpaceX, and live shows every Saturday, 1800 Coordinated Universal Time. That's 20 seconds.
That's correct.
Okay,
Or less.
right. Thank you, Tarantula. I appreciate that. Okay. And we get to do all this again with Jared's story. Isn't everybody excited? I wasn't joking when I was talking about the craziness that happens. Held us, because if we do Australian time zones, it'll take forever, and some of them are in half hours.
Oh my God, Adelaide is in a half time zone. It's super
Redonkulous.
annoying.
All right. All right, thanks, Mike. I really appreciate all of your insight every week. So, nope. How do I get from thanks to last week?
Do you want me to respond? Just be like, yeah, no problem.
No, I mean, you can. I don't think it's required, though. Last week, if you're interested in more news, If you would like more news, check out our live show from last week. Just turn and be like, blah, blah, blah.
Okay. Thanks, Mike. Always appreciate all of your insight every week. If you are interested in more news and other things like that, check out our show from last week, episode 10.32, by clicking right over here. Of course, we had Stuart Money, who was talking with us about the history of SpaceX, and you can always join us live every Saturday at 1800 Coordinating Universal Time.
Exactly like that.
But not awkward?
10:33.
Except it's 10:33, not 10:32.
Did I say 10:32?
Yeah.
I didn't even hear myself.
Yeah, I forgot to let you finish.
That was perfect, though.
Yeah, exactly
Yeah,
like
that
that.
was
It wasn't
perfect.
awkward. It was perfect. Just 10:33 instead of 10:32.
Great. God, for sake. Can we just pretend? Oh, you guys, this sucks. All right, thanks, Mike. Always appreciate all of your insight every week. If you are interested in more news like that, you can check out our last week's show, 10.32, by clicking right over here. My life. Okay, 10.33. Last week's show was 10.32. I think that's my problem. All right, this last week's,
Yeah.
right? I think that's exactly what keeps going on in my head. All right,
Our latest show. How's that?
our latest show.
Is that better?
Sure, no, it's not, but that's fine. We'll just figure it out later. Can I? All right. I don't need to point too, right? Because that's really
You don't
also
have to
tripping
point.
me up.
No, I mean you can if you want.
Focus. All right, Mike, appreciate that update. If you are interested in news like this or more, feel free to check out this last show, episode 10.33. We also were talking with Stuart Money about the history of SpaceX, and you can always join us live at 1800 Coordinating Universal Time every Saturday.
That was awesome.
Because apparently I don't know what day we do the show either. It's like, join us,
yeah.
I don't know,
Carry
sometime.
Oh my God, this is amazing.
No, it's not. Don't ever say that to me again.
Oh, I need my iPad so I can follow the chat room. We'll do it live. All right. Next up, Jared.
Is me.
I don't know about you guys, but I think this is all magical.
Isn't this magical? You just see everything that's going on around here, and you're just like, oh my God, that's amazing. Right?
Sure.
Sure, Jared.
This is Carrie Ann's
Shut
not
up.
happy face. Have you noticed?
Intros and outros are hard, man.
I'm like sweating right now.
You and me both.
Why are you sweating?
Because he's sweating me doing it right.
He's from the mythical lands of
or
Arizona.
wrong.
And it's like,
Because it's 734 degrees on the surface of
Yeah,
the sun
Kelvin.
over there.
Thank you. Sake. All right.
Do it.
What the hell are we talking about? Hold on. What are we talking? Oh, Cassini. Is this 2? I don't even know. Is it 25? Where are we?
Yeah, there's 2.
All right. Everybody's ready? So there was a little bit of news that we didn't quite get to in this last episode, 10.33. So, Jared, we were talking about the long goodbye with Cassini.
that's right.
What's going on with that?
Well,
Jared, she was perfect. What are you doing to her? What are you doing, man?
blew it. I blew it.
That was a brilliant intro. Oh, Jared.
Okay, just slice it.
Of all the times to blow it. Oh, I hate myself.
no, to be fair, wait, I'm insulted because that just means I won't be able to do that again.
Oh, there was something I wanted to actually ask
Yeah.
about my story. Is it okay to do my story as if we're presenting it on Thursday? So I
Yeah.
talk about tomorrow Cassini's mission is ending?
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see it now.
Cool.
Mention the date though. Tomorrow on Friday, whatever.
Well, since we're going to post it on Thursday, I'm just going to say tomorrow.
Yeah, but remember, people are going to come back and watch this after the fact.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
have absolute times in there if you can. 'Cause
Gotcha.
Remember, we're not
Yes.
relative. That's actually a
You're-
pet peeve of mine in like
You're-
space news.
Your frame of reference can be like it's tomorrow, but you also need to understand that it is going to be posted and will
Yeah.
exist
Yep.
on the internet forever.
Yeah.
Yep. Einstein talks a lot about frame of reference. So, yep.
All right.
Sorry.
What the hell did I say?
Thanks.
Two. There you go. Thank you, Mike. You're in the black background. Right? Because, like, otherwise I got nothing. So there were a few other things that we didn't get a chance to talk to on this last episode, 10.33. Jared, the long goodbye
Yes,
with
so long.
Cassini. Tell me what's going on.
So Cassini has completed its final journey through the gap between the interior of Saturn's rings and the cloud tops of Saturn's atmosphere. And it's currently heading on its way now to end its mission in the atmosphere of Saturn. Now Cassini, the spacecraft that we have at Saturn, has undoubtedly been one of humanity's greatest expeditions of exploration in terms of science knowledge that we've gained from it, technical knowledge from designing the spacecraft, and simply the endurance of Cassini as well. It's been in space for nearly 20 years, just a few weeks shy of 20 years. Now, Cassini has traveled 7.9 billion kilometers, executed 2.5 million commands, collected 635 gigabytes of data, discovered 6 moons at Saturn, performed 162 flybys of Saturn's moons, completed 294 orbits of the Saturnian system, taken 453,048 images. Data has been used in 3,948 published papers. It's burned its engine 360 times, and it has shown that 27 countries can cooperate on a mission of incredible discovery. Now, before Cassini, there were things that were considered science fiction, like a small ball of ice generating enough energy to have an ocean. That was the realm of books and films of science fiction. But images like this from Enceladus have shown us that it actually is scientific fact. The idea of a liquid cycle on a celestial body was strictly driven by water. That was until we looked at Titan with Cassini, and we saw that even though the temperatures there are extremely cold on Titan, minus 180 degrees Celsius, that there's still a liquid cycle happening there. It's not happening with water, it's happening with methane. And then we look at the rings, which were considered a old but complex structure, and we now know from early results gathered by the science in these final 22 grand finale orbits that the rings are likely very young in terms of the age of things in our solar system, just 100 million years old, and they're even more complex than we could even dream up. And the bittersweet part about this incredible mission that Cassini has done is that tomorrow, September 15th, 2017, it all comes to an end. When Cassini was fabricated, it wasn't known that Titan would be so close to the prebiotic chemistry that we've seen. The ingredients for life are at Titan. It's just that the energy isn't there. And we didn't know that Enceladus was potentially the best place for life off of Earth present in our solar system. So because of that, because we did not have that knowledge before Cassini, the spacecraft itself wasn't built to the specifications of cleanliness that, say, something landing on the surface of Mars is. So in order to prevent contamination, it was decided that with what little fuel Cassini has left, that it would be sent to plunge into Saturn's atmosphere. And as I mentioned earlier, tomorrow, September 15th, 2017, it will do just that. We're going to have the high-gain antenna of Cassini aimed at Earth and set Cassini in a mode that will constantly transmit data from its instruments back to the Earth, inadvertently becoming our first atmospheric probe going into Saturn. Now, from entry into Saturn's atmosphere, which Cassini will be doing at 120 1,000 kilometers an hour, to Cassini losing control, losing contact with Earth, and burning up in Saturn's atmosphere. That will be about 60 seconds from touching the top of the atmosphere to Cassini burning up. The entry should begin right around 11:54 Coordinated Universal Time, or 4:54 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time on tomorrow, Friday, September 15th, 2017. And loss of signal is expected to occur 60 seconds later at 11:55 Coordinated Universal Time, 4:55 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, also Friday, September 15th, 2017. And probably the most poetic thing about this is that Cassini will now become a permanent part of the planet that it studied. So it spent 13 years around Saturn, and now it's going to become a part of Saturn. So
Wow.
beautiful end to an incredible mission.
Yeah, no, that's really beautiful. And actually, if you're interested in more information about Cassini and the entire mission, you can go ahead and check out tomorrow's episode 10.15. Although if you're interested in more news and other things like that, you can look at our last week's show, 10.33. We talked with Stuart Money about the history of SpaceX, which was actually a lot of fun. And you can always join us live every Saturday at 1800 Coordinated Universal Time.
Got it.
Both of you, that was awesome. Good
Yeah.
job.
You had
Good
a lot
job.
of stuff to say, man. I was looking at that like, and you keep going.
Yeah.
So, and internet, do you generally like the smaller, like what we're doing
gotta
here
go.
with these smaller space bits that we do on Tuesdays and Thursdays? Are those Jaded Animal says bravo?
Thank you. It's hard not to cry during that too.
Yeah, I could feel your emotion at the end there. That was very
Yeah.
poetic. That was great. Good job, dude.
All right, everyone seems to like the space bits. They're great. Yeah. I mean, ultimately what we're doing is we're just, we used to plan for 5 news items plus launches in the live show. We're now doing 3 news items plus launches in the live show, and then taking those extra 2 and dropping them into After Dark. And we basically, even in this last rundown, I moved them straight to After Dark. I didn't even have them in the main part of the rundown. I'm just like, we're always going to do 2 in After Dark. And it seems to fit right? It still felt like we did about 20, 30 minutes of news.
Did you want to come on the?
Yeah, I can do that. Hang
Okay.
on. Let me,
I mean, you don't have to.
you don't like the dismembered voice?
No,
Disembodied voice?
it's weird.
News was what, 22 minutes, 23 minutes?
Yeah, news was long enough the way it was.
Yeah, it felt about right.
And news
Just-
usually is long enough the way it is.
yeah,
typically.
so I think, it's ever so slightly dark over here. I wonder if I should rotate those around.
Yeah, why did you move that one way over there? Thought it was over there.
It was not. It's always been on a thing.
No.
Yeah, because
No.
yes,
No.
because they're, you want to know how I know it's always been there?
I know it hasn't always been there because these two used to go like this.
They used to go like what?
These two used to go like this. Now this one does this and this one does this. It used to be over here.
We did one show with them up with paper filters or something over them, and then
It
we
was
took
over
them
here.
down and then we put them back up right where they were, and we haven't moved them since.
Yeah. We even
That one's over
we
there.
put tape marks where they were.
It's been over there.
Okay. Well, here's part of the problem is they can't go on these. There's no support on the ones that are, what is that, parallel to us? They can only go on the ones that are perpendicular to us. So if it was over there, it would have had to be like way over there. And I'm pretty sure I didn't put one way over there.
Okay.
We used to have one with a fill light in the middle. Anyhow.
I think I like that we're doing deeper news during the news segment.
Mm-hmm.
So it's making the news stories last longer.
In general,
And I think the quality of the news is
Bye,
better
JV
in that
Animal.
respect.
I'm sorry, say it again. Is what?
I think the quality of the news is better in that respect.
Sure.
And so it makes sense that 3 news stories plus whatever launches there are
What about the internet?
is about right for timing, and then push these to the end.
Internet agree with Dutta? I think I agree with Dutta. I just want to make sure you guys agree. Dwight. I think we got the 3-point lighting down. I think there's just some, like, I'm at the edge of where we're at. Also, you can't do 3-point lighting on this set. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
like
7,
27 point
8,
lighting.
9, 10. Yeah, it's a set, right? It's not an interview area, right? It's a full-on set. We actually used to do 3-point lighting out here, and it was awful because you can't, like, what we need to do with this is amazing. I am going to Adelaide, yes. That's
Fun.
about as much as I can say on that at this time. I can just say I'm going there.
I'm not going.
Ow! Gonna hurt my back putting my mic on. Because that's the kind of thing I would do.
I was just gonna say
that's not where
only
you put
Jared
it.
would.
That's not where you're supposed to put it.
You can't tell me what to do. You're not my mom.
Well,
You're not my mom. You can't tell me what to do.
I'm not your mother.
Oh my God, I don't know what's happening.
yeah. Yeah, like that was my Maston moment, Andrew. He said, Ben, whoops, where did he said, Ben, nice Maston moment.
Oh, look at this.
Oh yeah, we have markers now.
Oh, yeah. So,
We didn't just buy one.
here's what.
Ben said, and I quote, and I kid you not on this one, he said,
Oh my
I want to give
gosh.
everyone choices. And I
That
was
is
like,
amazing.
since when did you want to give people choices?
That's
Here's
amazing.
the problem. So everyone who comes here, as you guys may or may not know, can sign the set. Every guest who comes here, I'm sorry. So everyone who's on the show has an opportunity, and in person has an opportunity to sign one of the sides of the set. And we had Sharpie markers here, but then they disappeared. And so,
Nobody knows what happened.
No, we had a Sharpie marker.
well,
Yeah, but I
now
still
we
think one of
have
our
a
guests
package of
took it.
Sharpies. Hang on, I'll just, there you go. Whatever I can.
So that everyone has options.
Yes, so now we have many different colors. We have the entire rainbow.
Yeah, we freaking do.
Many colors.
Yep.
Including like electric pop colors, apparently. Optic
Yep.
orange, techno blue, nano blue, because those are different.
They
Electric
are.
pink, and ultraviolet.
I don't feel like, so if you write in ultraviolet, are you going to be able to see it?
No.
I just want to grab like 3 of them at the same time and have like a rainbow signature.
Someone may.
Space Mike.
So they sit back here. You know, I should take a picture of this and
You should.
Oh,
What are you sitting on now?
the mic pack just
Okay.
jammed right into my butt. Ooh, wasn't expecting that.
All right.
Whew.
Yeah.
What's
good?
that?
So, one Pete Rizzett, who
Pete?
I assume is not currently in West Melbourne.
Yeah, you shouldn't be there, Pete. Hopefully you're out of there, dude.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. Pete sent us a thing that's not from Pete himself necessarily. I don't know how much you want me to say because I don't want to
It's fine.
I don't want to embarrass anybody.
Well, embarrass away.
So Pete has a lot of talent running through his family. Not just Pete himself, of course. His wife and his 2 girls are all amazing family.
For those who don't know, Pete wrote our Roku channel. So if you watch on Roku, and it was recently repaired, so you can watch on Roku again. You can thank Pete for that. He's
Thanks, Pete.
also the head programmer, and by head programmer I mean only programmer, behind Launch Library, which is a very neglected by me. To Wicked, basically, Pete and To Wicked have taken it and run with it. I'm like, cool, you guys are in good hands. Have fun. But Launch Library, which powers so many applications at this point, right, with launch updates and launch data, chances are if you're going to a website, or if you're going to an app that gives you launch status updates, it's powered by Launch Library. Pete wrote that, the database and all that other fun jazz. So we've known Pete for
Many years.
Ever.
Pete
Yeah.
is, I mean, I know the cats like them, but you may have gotten rid of them. Still has some Space Vidcast chairs from back in the day.
But when we were doing Space Shuttle launch coverage, we had some director's chairs that had the Space Vidcast basically, it was either embroidered or silk screened
No, I think they were embroidered.
on the back, and we didn't want to have to, at the time we did the show in Minnesota, we didn't have to fly the chairs to and from Minnesota every time. So I think either Pete or someone down in Florida just hung on to them for us. And then we'd go grab them, set them up with a tent, do the shuttle coverage, and then be like, here, take these back. And then once we were done with shuttle coverage, we were like, you want to keep them? Otherwise, we're going to throw them away. And so,
There you are.
Yep.
So Pete sent us a thing that Miss Emily drew. It says, and I love this note. It says, Emily drew this. Hope you enjoy, Pete. Which is so Pete to me. It's like the most matter of fact.
Here's where it's from.
These are the things you need to know. Thank you. Which is really amazing. And then inside is this really great.
Oh, look
Right?
at that.
How are we going to hang on?
I know. Here you go,
There's
Mike.
even a beard.
You like hold it up over Jared's. Oh, that's so cool.
I figured I had to. Here. I don't know
No,
how
I think
to.
hold
this
it. Just
one?
hold it in front of yourself. Okay, that works too. Hold it right in front of Jared.
Right in
just
front
like
of
that.
Jared.
There you go.
Perfect.
Just like that. Hang on. Let me try to get it closer to the camera. See if we can do a little magic focusing, maybe? Question mark. Ooh.
Look at it. That's great.
Yeah, it's really, really great.
That's really well
Totes
done.
adorbs.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really hard to.
Carrie Ann comes first.
I
No.
also very
Carrie Ann's
much.
talking, and I'm like, just stop.
I was gonna say I very much appreciate that I'm the one speaking.
I'm like, enough, woman.
Whatever.
Betty with a beard.
We both have our hands up, so as far as I'm concerned, I'm telling you to shut up. That's
Wait, hang on. It's signed right there. E.
yes, yes, and Miss E signed it, which is really amazing.
Well done.
So we have
I hate doing intros and outros. Why do you make me do those every week?
pretty much. Green Jim 2 says it has a better beard than Ben.
I mean, that's not untrue.
Are you a secret redhead, Ben?
No, if you look at my beard, there's no camera that's right on me. Hang on. Can you hit the autofocus button? Hit the autofocus on 3.
How close should I get?
Maybe
It's
is
all
autofocus not
blurry and
working?
like dreamy right now. Jesus.
This is my beard. This is my blur beard. This is dream sequence beard.
This is how the beard actually looks good. You blur it.
All right, I'll do this.
Dream sequence.
Oh wait,
Stop moving.
right as I move it.
Toby says
We made it worse.
It got
Toby
worse.
agrees.
I got it.
Toby agrees, saying that beard is very optimistic.
Oh my god, I hate you all. It's amazing. All right. Hang on. Here's your. Yeah. I don't know if I'm framed, but there's the beardal region. It's a little,
Beardal region.
it's a little splotchy somewhere down in here.
You gotta trim up that neck,
I don't have the neckline quite. Oh yeah, the neck itself needs to trim it. I don't have the line quite right. I think it's a little too low. I think it needs to come up just a pinch. But yeah. Yep. That beard is very optimistic. Thanks, Toby. Yeah.
So, but still, thank you, Emily. It's adorable. I really like it. I'm gonna frame that. It's gonna go somewhere in the house for sure. For sure. Very, very cool. Thank you so much. We had the pleasure of hanging out with Team Rizit a couple years ago at Disney.
Oh yes, we did.
We got to hang for the day. That was fun.
Turn up the volume.
Why?
Because I'm pretty sure this is with lift off?
6, 5, 4, 3,
Watching the COTS 2 abort.
1, 0, and lift off. We've had a cutoff. Liftoff did not occur.
Is that George?
Oh, George Diller. Lift off. Cut off. I mean, cut off.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and liftoff. We've had a cutoff. Liftoff did not occur.
Oh, it's just magic.
I love how matter of fact he is about it. He was always
Lift off.
There was one other thing that I wanted to show real quick.
Yeah.
I thought it was really funny how during the SpaceX launch this week, the Boeing video that they played at the very end of it, they kind of pretty much like said our motto. Dutta, if you can pull up the L202 video, it's only like 5 seconds or something like that.
Oh yeah, I think
Great.
Stoge said something like that.
So Space Mike, I should bring this up. The way the automation works now, he can't easily see that. If you have a number of like an A5, like a rundown number.
Oh,
And by the way,
what
speaking
is
of
that?
Team Resist, stay safe.
speaking of, well, I'll let you do that and then I'll tell you.
A3?
You got it,
No,
A3, the A3 video.
I know, Stoge had mentioned something along those lines about how Boeing apparently watches too much of our show because they've just decided to go ahead and take all the
B2.
things that we normally say.
B2.
B2, and there was a second one.
To wicked. There's no way to ban the movement of kitchen utensils during the webcast. I feel so. I spent some time.
Looks like it's not
Okay,
inserted
to
in there
be
anymore.
fair-
Never mind.
To be fair to that point,
The X-37B, flying tomorrow's technologies today.
hey, I didn't know we had
Call
an experiment
Everett.
on that super secret space plane. Oh, sorry, you're right.
Shh, we can't talk about that.
Oh.
Us
You
and,
just brought it up.
us and Maskin can't talk. No.
So to be fair about the crank tink 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 sounds.
Yeah, well, people are working, man.
Right.
People are working, and that includes the kitchen staff. And there's stuff that has to be done. And, you know, I will say that from experience that no matter if you're saying 10, 9, 8, 7, or 3, 2, 1, 0, somebody's going to order coffee. I know this. So, you know, it is a working environment. It's 24/7. It continues to go. And that's what happens. If you wanted everything to completely shut down, which doesn't make any sense, the entire airport doesn't shut down when an airplane takes off.
Yeah, but they also don't do a live webcast from the middle of the food court, which is basically what we're doing. It just so happens that one of the really great places centralized that's in front of Mission Control by that engine has great shots and good infrastructure.
Yeah, because our cafeteria is the coolest place to eat at.
It is.
I've never eaten at your cafeteria.
Well,
Because
You
you can't.
should.
Just happens to be in the middle of the mezzanine eating area, and as such, people are in fact eating. And yeah, there's a launch going on, but they still have to work, and so, yeah, they're eating, and it's annoying. Now, I did spend.
Because not everyone who works there is salary. Some people, like, that's people's lunchtime, man.
Right.
Like, I don't want to tell you.
So I did spend a great deal of time the day prior with people on microphone, and we even asked Carrie Ann, we're like, hey, turn on the blenders, make all of the noises, get as loud as you can. We need like chairs going back and forth. We need every noise. And I EQ'd the bejeebers out of those microphones to try to we have very aggressive high and low pass filters on those microphones now, which unfortunately you can actually hear a little bit in the tonality of the sound that was coming out. But I think it did help reduce some of those clinking noises. Did not eliminate, because those frequencies are in talking voice frequency, and if I eliminate it, then you won't hear them at all. But hopefully it was better.
One day I'm just like I'm silently hoping during the webcast that one day you just hear like a huge like number of plates just like shatter on the floor. Or like a massive belch.
I will say
just
that
comes out
there
of
was
nowhere.
an almost plate on the floor directly behind one of the cameras on the mezzanine. And I about had a heart attack myself.
Can't you use one of those like drum surrounds where they have the like plexiglass things with the
In the
foam
middle
on
of my
inside or
calf? Are you kidding?
just for the camera setup?
No.
It's
I
so
mean,
big. It's almost as big as this is.
Yeah, it's about as big
It
as
takes
I
up like
think.
4 freaking tables. It's terrible. The other thing is that somebody said something that people should go to plastic. Actually, so while we're using water to wash all the plates and silverware, it's with the amount of people that we're serving and the amount of food that's going in and out of there, plasticware just is not going to be a thing. There's a lot of taterware that goes on. Our department is very concerned, of course, about the environment and not polluting as much as possible. So everything's biodegradable whenever it can be. And the reusable plates and silverware are saving a lot of those things going out the door and in the garbage, even if they are biodegradable. So there's that. Mike, what were you saying?
Something that I wanted to say about this is I think that the biggest complaint, because there's always been a lot of noise on all of the webcasts, the SpaceX webcasts, but I think that the biggest complaint now, at least for me anyway, when I'm watching it, is if one of the hosts isn't speaking, isn't giving me some sort of information. Is there a way to just mute all of their mics so that we just hear nothing, or even just get like on some of the older webcasts, if the hosts weren't speaking, it would all mute out and we would get sound from like
we stopped doing that on
control room or
purpose
something
because
like
it
that?
becomes very jarring. Because they're only not speaking for like 10 seconds at a time. So you have this really huge amount of ambient noise, then it goes to 0, then it comes back up to a huge amount of ambient noise, and you get this weird like spike, not spike in the sound. And so we just stopped doing it because it's not as smooth. It's actually harder to concentrate on it at that point.
Maybe
so we
just drop it 6 decibels or something.
Well, I mean, we do. No, we do. We drop it down when they're not talking. I think it's only 3 dB, but that's, 3 dB is a lot.
Yeah, 3 dB is double.
It also depends on the time of day. Like this one was like 7 a.m. Pacific time, right? So yeah, there's going to be a lot more dinner or lunch or breakfast food noise at that time. If you're like 3 o'clock in the morning, no food's being served. You're just simply not going to hear it. It just depends. And if there's more murmur of the crowd, if it's a bigger launch and there's more people there, you're not going to hear it as much. There's going to be, instead of a drum barricade, there's just going to be a human barricade to the noise itself. But you'll hear more people just kind of standing around talking and that sort of thing. It just depends. It just depends. And
Oh, Andrew, those are really good, very directional microphones.
Really good.
I don't, and actually I have brought in some really high-end audio guys looking at this stuff, EQing things out, getting good compression, and once we give them the restrictions, they're like, do this, this, or this, and we're like, well, we can't do, like, it can't be a head-worn mic, so no Countryman's, they don't want to see it like that. Shotguns won't work because you'd have to be too far out for the lighting grid, so you're going to just get too much ambient, like, when we throw the restrictions out there, they're all like, yeah, you can just the only thing you can do is notch the high and lows off, and I mean thus far that or move, and that's not off the table.
I get that plates clinking is distracting for sure. Silverware clinking on plates is distracting for sure. Those absolutely wonderful chairs that we have that make the most abhorrent noises in the face of the planet.
Loud. They're so loud.
But they're beautiful.
Instead of drywall on the roof and the ceiling and all that, could you put like
those are I-beam ceilings. I don't know what you're
towels
talking
or
about, man.
Towels.
No. There's a drop ceiling on
I can't
under the
change the
cafeteria.
aesthetics of anything now.
That's not gonna.
No, there's no drop ceiling.
No.
It's too bad that there's not enough
Under
room
the
to do it
mezzanine?
inside
No.
the control room.
No, there are the I-beams themselves are sheetrock,
They're
and the rest of it is
Yeah, that's
just,
what I mean. On the
just the
sheetrock.
I-beams. No, because
no, they're
those,
not even
those are
sheetrock.
speakers.
They're just like
Yeah, they are. No, the I-beams are sheetrocked. I know the I-beams are sheetrock because every 5 feet there's a speaker in the I-beam.
Oh, those I was thinking the other ways.
They only go one way, and then you've got the decking, and then that just has the spray.
Okay,
the,
I guess those are the
spray
things
on
I
it.
was thinking of.
I can't cover the sheetrock because there's speakers in them.
Sequence at T-minus 3 seconds.
Are you watching it again?
We're at T-minus 2.
It's too bad there's not enough room to do it inside the control room. I know that would be distracting for those
It
folks
would be
working in there,
really
but
distracting.
Oh, in
for
the mission
them.
control room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
the other side of the glass?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it would. I don't know how to do that because I can't interrupt the mission.
Right.
I've looked at other locations. I haven't found anything I love yet. Right? There's just an excitement and kind of an awesomeness to being like right there in the thick of it, where you can hear the crowd. Yeah, you're hearing the plates, but you're also hearing the cheering. I can move it somewhere away from all of that, but then it's away from all of that, right? So
Yeah.
you don't get even the cheering, and there's something magical about that cheering that I just don't want to get rid of.
I mean,
So-
yeah, at that point, you might as well just be in Tennessee.
You're not
Like, who
cheering
cares?
as much as you used to as well.
Well, I mean, we're launching every 2 weeks.
Becoming more routine.
It's becoming more routine. But, they're still cheering. They're still good.
Slackers.
Well, emission control noise is not a lot. It's pretty quiet in there.
Yeah,
I mean,
everybody's concentrating.
Right.
They're just like,
Yeah.
Well, and they have mics. I mean, they're.
That was actually one of my requests, is that maybe we can...
Pressure's good.
Yeah, actually, that goes into where I have to stop talking. But this has been discussed, and it's not that it can't be solved. It certainly can be solved. It's just, what are we willing to give up? Yeah, it's just a bigger conversation, and unfortunately, it's not as simple as it sounds. It's not like, just
yeah.
do X, Y, or Z. There are a lot more variables at play here.
And
And that's usually the case, right? Everyone's like, oh, I have this great idea. It's like, well, yeah, but you don't have all the data. It's not that your idea is bad. It's just you don't have all the data. So
Yeah,
you
I
don't
love this
know what the
idea
restrictions
of putting
are.
the tennis balls on the bottoms of the legs.
Didn't we try that? Like, didn't we? Like,
We did
they
cork.
tried. They did cork and felt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it just ripped right off, didn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
But the tennis balls are
tennis balls, yeah.
hilarious. Could you imagine walking around just seeing like whole shite tons of
Tennis balls.
yeah. Oh, that's cute.
What is that?
this is the menu for the cafes at JPL. So
Let's just put the hosts inside your guys' new spacesuits. Just have the internal mics.
Right?
Yeah, that'll do it.
Except you would hear them breathing.
Falcons on a good trajectory.
That's what
That sounds awesome.
Oh, man.
It's always good when you get done laughing.
Bye, Dwight.
Yep.
Thanks for joining.
Yeah, Maston mode. Yeah, held desk.
Anyways,
NASA
I think I'm.
Yeah, have a good one, Mike. If you need to take off.
Yeah, I think I'm winding down here.
All right.
Yeah, I think we are too.
See you, Mike.
Heldesk and NASA PAO had people positioned in mission control. If you want SpaceX to have that feeling, we're 10 seconds away from launch. This is one of the most exciting things humanity's ever done, and we have found a way to make it sound the most boring.
3, 2, 1.
We have to speak quietly
Ignition.
because we're next to
Lift
people
off. Falcon has cleared the tower.
hoisting harmony to the heavens and beyond. This is NPR Launch Report.
The engines are now throttling down as the rocket goes into the bucket.
I would be amazing at that, by the way. I would be so good.
What? All right,
Just
ready to go.
start a Twitter
Stage
Twitter
set
account
up.
called Board Reporter.
Board
launch
PAO.
Board launch report.
Oh my
Space.
gosh, I have an idea. I think I'm going to steal that from you, Dada.
SpaceX landed a
I'm not
rocket
gonna
again.
get into details, but the technical stream is not coming back. Star.
I would be.
Ready, go. Try it. From 10 seconds. Counting down from 10.
No, 'cause this mic isn't right.
Oh, you need the. All right.
Go over there. They got the
Go.
mic over
You
there.
got it. I know exactly what you mean. Go.
it.
Do it.
No.
Do it.
Come on in.
Come on. Come on. Let's go.
Nope, it's way worse when you say it like that.
Come on.
No, but I would.
You
be-
would.
I'm
You
a
should show
great
everyone.
golf announcer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think you should do it. Ugh.
And we're coming up on Miko and stage separation. The second stage engine
Loopy,
has
you cannot have
started.
meters per second. I can't go into details, but that will not be coming back either.
Can we have elephants per second?
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
Football fields per second. Cubic football fields per second.
Wait, African or Asian?
Oh, damn it.
Neuropilot, there actually isn't as much as you'd think there is. There just isn't that much there. You're getting most of it, believe it or not.
Yeah, when things are going fine, there's very little. I mean, there's plenty of video of inside mission control for shuttle launches with the loop. And
Yeah,
when
everyone expects the countdown loops to be like constant chatter,
Nope.
and they're just not. They're almost
quiet.
total silence. And so you're getting almost all of it.
Yeah.
Not all of it, to be fair, right? There are certain things that are stepped on. I get that, but you're getting a majority of it.
Yeah, I mean, you can listen to...
I do love the Rumble in the Jungle, Issa.
You can listen to something, though, like the STS-93 launch.
Oh, my
and
God.
That launch and the control loop on that, and they are fighting all the way to orbit.
Yeah, so STS-90, but that is not on their countdown net. If you listen to their countdown net, also mostly silent, right? Even though they're fighting that whole shuttle, that shuttle is fighting them to orbit. They're like, I don't wanna, meh. And Prop is just sitting there like, okay, I've got 3 critical things on my screen, all of which could be abort scenarios. Which one do you want to hear first? Right?
And that's literally like right off the pad.
Yeah, it's like 10 seconds off the pad. You hear the was it Columbia?
Yep.
Yeah, Columbia called down, we've got a PH fuel cell misbalance or imbalance or whatever it was. And then they're like, cool, thanks for that. And then Prop just starts going, but those are all internal loops, right? You wouldn't have heard that on there. And then PAO's like, looking pretty good. Flight's nominal this far.
It was a female PAO that time,
No, it was not. No. Female commander on the orbiter.
Yeah, Eileen Collins.
Yeah.
So, who is one of my favorite astronauts. So.
Yeah, the go, no-go poll also not coming back, at least not when the poll is so far in the past, right? That's another thing where people are like, oh, you should do the poll. The poll happens at like an absurd time before liftoff at this point. So, and the webcast isn't starting at that point, especially since you're sitting there almost totally idle. We can't fill that time, and we're just not going to. So, neat. I don't disagree. The go, no-go poll is cool, but not when it's that early in the countdown.
Just pre-record it and have that start your webcast.
Yeah. Well, nah.
I will say, though, that the shirt that Michael was wearing this last webcast did hearken to the steel blue, steely-eyed missile man.
You really liked that shirt on him, didn't you?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told him. He blushed. It was great. All right. I think that's all we got.
Did we stall? I think we stalled. All right, everyone. Thank you so much.
Again, disappointed I'm the only one wearing SpaceX stuff.
I'm wearing Tomorrowland stuff. He's got buses and Californias. And
I already knew we were going to be talking about SpaceX.
Yeah.
It's not like that was like, that's our main topic today. Your excuse is lame, by the way.
Kitty stole all mine.
Just saying.
You know, it's still in the drawer, and now that it's a double X, I can't wear them because I lost weight and stuff.
Neither can I.
So as we're going out, Loopy says Atlas does its poll at T-4 minute hold. Yeah, they do a poll. I believe it is at T-4 minutes. And then ULA stole my idea for the go no-go thing that I actually got to use a couple times on air, and then they took it and made it worse. And it makes me sad because mine is better. But yeah, and they poll like everyone, so they have just like this page of things that it's like turning green. It is kind of cool. I mean, it's a good idea. I know because I had it first. And yeah, that's my little angry moment.
All right.
Yeah.
This is angry boring reporter.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't there a angry reporter on Twitter?
Local angry reporter. Or something like that.
Yes.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well,
So
I think
good.
we've gone down, but that's a story for someone. Remind us to tell you the story of angry local reporter and how that all came
so
about.
good.
That's for a different show, though. All right. See you, everyone. Bye.